Welcome to Wasatch Weekends. It is Friday, March 15th. On today's show, we've got some exciting things happening. I'm speaking with Katy Wang about the latest and greatest happenings with Park City Film. Plus, Julio had a conversation with the Heber Valley Chamber of Commerce about an event that they are having this weekend. And then I chatted with two of the four McBee brothers about their brand new docuseries, the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys. So before we get started, let's take a look at the weather for today. Now it is Friday, and you know what that means. That means that Katy Wang of Park City Film is here to talk about what is going on this weekend. Katy, how are you?
I am well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. So exciting things happening. You've got international film showing this weekend. Tell me all about it.
Yes, this is actually the film that won the Academy Award last weekend for Best International Feature Film. It's called The Zone of Interest by Jonathan Glazer. And it is one of those films that's kind of hard to describe, but it's about the commandant of Auschwitz, the concentration camp in Poland, and his family who live outside the camp. And it is really a film that is stunning in its portrayal of kind of the banality of evil, as it's called. It's chilling, it's unsettling, it's deeply powerful. It is unlike any other film you have seen about the Holocaust, I guarantee you. And it is brilliant. It also won for sound design. But it's kind of all the things that you don't see that just kind of bring the film and make it so powerful, bring it together. So we're really thrilled to be and honored to be showing it this weekend. We have a special guest on Saturday night, a professor down from the U, Professor Amos Guiora, PhD. He's a professor of law at the University of Utah, and he has done extensive work on the crime of complicity. Talking about the bystander effect. We've had him speak at the film series previously, and he is amazing, just an engaging, delightful human being, such a powerful speaker, and just really steeped in the history of the Holocaust and kind of how it was able to happen, and really talking about bystanders and how important it is that that the bystanders take note and they don't just stand by and idly watch things happen, kind of how powerful that can be. So we're thrilled and honored to have him come on Saturday night. That'll be after the film. So come all three nights, but certainly Saturday night, we've got a special presentation afterwards.
Yeah, how cool is that to be able to kind of hear some perspective after watching a movie that is so intense about like its subject matter. So I love that. That's great. So speaking of Academy Awards, you just recently had the Oscar party. Tell me all about it.
Yes, yeah, but sorry, before I neglected to mention that showtimes for the Zone of Interest, so don't forget that, are Friday and Saturday at 7, and then again Sunday at 6. And we want to thank the Utah Division of Arts and Museums, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the Summit County Rap Tax for helping to support great films like the Zone of Interest in our community. But back to the Oscar party. So last week we had an amazing turnout. We did our 8th annual celebration of film on the eve of the Academy Awards. We like to kind of mix it up a little bit and bring everyone together the night before the big event, because presumably on the big event, everyone's watching that show, and it is very long, as you know, red carpet included. But it was fantastic. We had a great turnout. People had a lot of fun. It was just so thrilling to see members of Park City Film, people who were completely new to the organization, some of our longstanding volunteers and sponsors, just kind of all coming together and having a great time and communing around film and playing some fun trivia. But it's a great event for us. It's kind of a fundraiser as much as it is a fundraiser. And this year, thanks to our Oscar Party committee, we kicked it up a notch and had twice as many people as we normally have. And it was a thrill to see it all come together so beautifully.
That's wonderful. Now, Katy, where can we go for more information if we want to donate and volunteer or just learn about what you have upcoming?
Absolutely. So parkcityfilm.org. You can get your tickets in advance for any of our film screenings, or we certainly open our box office as well an hour before the posted show time. So if you want to just roll up to the box office and get your ticket spur of the moment, we're happy to accommodate you there as well. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of our website, you'll see our support tab, and you can sign up for volunteer shifts for any of our films, learn how to make our famous popcorn. Certainly, you can become a member, which we greatly appreciate. Memberships last for a year, and that really helps us keep going throughout the year. Or you can become a sponsor. We're learning here in Park City that one of the commercial movie theater chains has just declared bankruptcy. So really more important reminder that film exhibition has not bounced back, unfortunately, post-COVID in the same way that live events have and some other kind of live performances. So it is critically important that people, if you love independent cinema in your community, and I hope you do, and come seeing it with us, that you vote with your dollars and come on over to the theater and either become a member or come watch a movie with us, tell your friends about it. But really, participation is key. That's how it all keeps going. And, it's that symbiotic relationship. We're here because of you, and hopefully you're here for us too.
Well, over at Park City Film, you really make it an immersive experience and make it an event, not just watching a movie. And so we appreciate all that you do over there, especially with that famous popcorn. You bring your own bowl and you get $1 off. So that's always fun as well.
Exactly. And fresh butter. Come on, you don't get that at commercial theaters.
That is the absolute truth, and you don't get that in the microwave either at home. So you better go grab your popcorn and watch incredible films. Well, Katy, we appreciate all that you're doing and love the curated list. I was scrolling through the website, and you have so many incredible films upcoming, including The Zone of Interest this weekend. So we just really love all the work that you put into it.
Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you at the movies.
See you at the movies. All right, now stay tuned. We'll be right back with more right after this. The Heber Valley Chamber of Commerce certainly does so much to keep things rolling throughout the valley, and they have a community expo on Saturday. Julio had a conversation with them all about it.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, you all know we love sharing community events here with you all and opportunities to participate and get to know everything that is going around the community. And joining us today, we have Jessica Turner from the Heber Valley Chamber of Commerce to tell us about a very special, fun event coming up. So, Jessica, welcome. Thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Yeah, I'm calling you from the actual venue location at the Wasatch County Recreation Center. So happy to talk to you about this upcoming event that's going to be taking place here this Saturday, March 16th.
I love that. March 16th, it's the Ask Heber Valley Community Expo. Jessica, you are on the event venue right now, and it looks already amazing. But tell me a little bit about what is the Ask Heber Valley Expo?
Yeah, so the Expo, it's our second year doing this community event. It's open to people, residents and local business owners across the Wasatch Back and extending into the Wasatch Front communities. We will feature over 70 local area business vendors with individual booths that will be set up here in this space behind me, which currently is basketball courts and pickleball courts and track area over here, lots of space in this expansive recreation area. They're all going to be here talking about their businesses, what services they offer, how they give back to the community. Show specials will be offered, giveaways will be offered throughout the event. It's going to take place here at the Wasatch County Rec Center on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also, there will be demonstrations happening every hour starting at 11:30. Those demonstrations will run for about 30 minutes, and they feature everything from basic bike maintenance and tune-ups while on the trail, all the way to beekeeping. If any of you out there are interested in getting into beekeeping, we've got an expert that's going to be here to tell you all about it. So it's a very, very fun event. We're expecting over 1,000 people to show up and turn out throughout the 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. timeframe. We're having a local food drive. So if you want to bring a non-perishable food item, you can be entered into to win prize drawings and local giveaways throughout the duration of the expo. You don't have to be present to win. That's always enticing.
Yeah.
And then the first 300 families that come in get a free tote bag that'll help them carry around any of the flyers and giveaways and items that they may purchase.
Oh my
So it's going
gosh.
to be a whole event.
No,
Yeah.
it sounds amazing. It sounds like such a fun time. There's going to be all sorts of different exhibitors, like you said, local businesses. There's going to be those informative sessions and demonstrations happening throughout the day. So it's a jam-packed day with lots of activities,
It is.
lots to do. Jessica, I kind of want to take a step back, and I would love to hear from you a little bit about kind of the history. This is the second year the Chamber is putting this event on kind of how this all came about, or what inspired you all to put together this community expo.
Certainly. Great question. So yes, correct. It is our second year doing this annual event. And it really came about through our chamber, Heber Valley Chamber membership and chamber advisory board and committee, basically talking with us and saying, how can we give more back to some of these local businesses that do so much for the community? They provide a unique service, whether it's HVAC or auto detailing, home lending and insurance providing, just a real broad array of different industries
Right.
that typically maybe don't get as much connectivity with some of the residents in the community. So this event was really born out of that idea of how do we get the businesses and the residents to connect on a more local level so that residents become informed, build these relationships, know who to turn to locally when they have a need within the community instead of having to go to Salt Lake or Provo Orem, or even some of the other neighboring communities, knowing that we have these businesses and these services right here locally, and really just kind of building that connection between business and individual.
I love that. I think any opportunity we have to connect with other community members, connect with community organizations or businesses is always such a great opportunity. And I think a lot of the times we think we might know our community, but then we show up to these events and we find out, wait a minute, there's maybe an organization I didn't know about or a business that I wasn't familiar with, and that we can now, you guys are providing this space for people to connect, and I think that's great. So I think it's such a fun event.
Yeah, and it ties into our chamber mission in a really great and authentic way. So our mission really being to unite, connect, and promote, and that's businesses to community. And this is a real B2C event that does just that, and it checks each one of those boxes. And just as you mentioned, there are so many local businesses that provide so many unique services, and just are really interested in understanding who our community is, who lives here, who works here, and providing support to those individuals in unique ways, and really just this gives them that chance to do just that.
Absolutely. Jessica, now I know you already kind of mentioned a little bit of some of the organizations and businesses that will be there, but can you give us any other teasers, maybe any other names out there of who or what we can expect at the event?
Yeah, certainly. And the great thing about some of this too is we wouldn't be able to do this without some of our generous sponsors. So I really be in error if I didn't mention them.
Yeah.
So we've got some excellent sponsors that have really stepped up both last year and some returning for this year, and some new sponsors this year that really stepped up to help make this event possible. Their information is all on our website at gohebervalley.com. If you go under the events page of the menu of our website, you can get right to the specific event page information. You can see who those sponsors are. You can get a taste of who's going to be here. Also, some of the local food vendors will be here, so you'll be able to dine on site. We encourage families to come so that they can learn about different businesses in the community that maybe provide services for kids. Also, the rec center being an intentional location for this event. For one, parking is always something you have to take into consideration, especially when you're expecting high participation numbers.
Right.
But the rec center in particular is an ideal location because it does provide some of that recreational space for these kids to get out and play and run while parents visit the different booths, meet the different businesses and vendors. And it's a safe space for those kids to be able to play and get some of the wiggles out. So.
And as you mentioned, you guys are expecting, around 1,000 community members. So I think having that space, it looks, just from your video, it looks like a very big space that can hold that capacity and that can hold the vendors and that can hold everyone so that everyone can enjoy and have a good time. You mentioned at the beginning, Jessica, and I want to go touch a little bit back on this because I think it's a great incentive for people to give back to the community, the food bank donation or the food drive. Tell me a little bit about who that's benefiting and how folks can participate again.
Yes, it benefits the local Utah Food Bank. We have a branch of the food bank here in our community, so all of those donations will stay local. There's always a need. I think that gets stressed multiple times throughout the year, but the need never ends. So
Yeah.
if someone wants to bring a non-perishable item, for each item that each individual or family brings, they'll get entered into a drawing. So each item gives them another chance at that drawing, and it's for multiple prizes and multiple giveaways throughout the expo. I don't want to give it away on what all we're giving away, but there
Yes.
will be some great prizes that people want to enter in for. And then, of course, the Heber Valley Chamber will also have a table set up. So if you're not as familiar with the chamber, or even if you are and you just want to come by and say hello, our whole team will be there. We would really love to meet everybody that's going to be coming to the expo. We will be selling some of our swag items. So our new beanies, our fun logoed gloves.
Love it.
We've got some t-shirts, some hoodies, some new trucker hats and baseball caps. So come check out our swag. Come see what we're about. We really thrive on connections, and really this community is all about building the relationship, and that's something that our office has really leaned into in a very sincere way.
I love that. It's going to be a very fun event. Saturday, March 16th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Wasatch County Recreation Center. You'll be able to learn a little bit about the Heber Valley Chamber, but also about all the different organizations and businesses that'll be participating, and just overall a great way to connect with the community. Jessica, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing with us a little bit about this wonderful event coming up this weekend.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with more of the show, so stay tuned.
If you love Yellowstone, you are certainly going to love this brand new docuseries on Peacock and USA. I chatted with Stephen McBee Jr. and Jesse McBee about their new show, The McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys. Let's take a look. Now, welcome back to the show. I'm so excited about our next guest because we've gotten to know one of them in a previous TV series, but joining me today are two of the four sons of the McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys. I've got Stephen Jr. and Jesse McBee joining me. How are you guys?
We're doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm thrilled to have you here. Love the show, Stephen. I followed you on Joe Millionaire, you and Calla, so exciting to see you actually bring your family to the forefront and see this show. So, Stephen, tell me about the show. Why did you decide to, put your life out there for everybody to see the operations of the ranch and the dynasty that you're building?
Well, I think we've got a really interesting story to tell. So many people in America don't know what takes place in rural America, in the Midwest, and on a farming and ranching operation. And so the everyday things that we do, while we don't think they're that interesting, so many people that are disconnected from the farm and ranch, they love to see what we're doing. And then you throw in, obviously, the turmoil that comes with our relationship issues and personal lives. And it makes for a really compelling story and something that I wanted to showcase to America to show what small town life looks like.
That's so true. Now, Jesse, they're saying that this is the real version of Yellowstone, and you're kind of the cowboy on the show. So talk to me a little bit about how it feels to have cameras in front of you while you're working through like your day-to-day and your personal life.
Yeah, it's been a real interesting experience. Obviously, we got to kind of see it from afar with Steven being on Joe Millionaire and kind of how that process worked. But for the cameras to be in our own faces while we're trying to work, it was cool. It was neat to see everybody intrigued kind of by what we do every day. We don't find it that interesting, but a lot of people don't know what we do, and they did. So it was cool to kind of go out of our way and explain why farming and ranching is so important.
It really is. And, Stephen, I know a lot of people follow your love life. You and Calla, you guys are great together, and you've got the podcast and other things. But this is going to be really exciting to watch you as a business-minded professional and an entrepreneur. So what can we expect from you and from the family from a business perspective throughout the show?
Yeah, I think that we are opportunists as far as entrepreneurship goes. We're looking for any opportunity, and it actually happens during the middle of filming that we're able to start up our full-scale processing facility for our beef side. So it's really interesting to see us take over a plant and actually get this business off the ground. You get to see the car washes, the farm and ranch, my meat business. So all of these different things are all wrapped up into one show. And then from the relationship side, you also get to see Calla and I really getting back together. We've had some ups and downs since Joe Millionaire, and right at the start of filming, you get to see the first interactions we had after a little bit of a break.
That's great. Now, Jesse, have you watched all 10 episodes, or tell me how many episodes have you seen and what can fans expect?
Yeah, I have watched all 10 episodes. I know Steven probably hasn't yet. I streamed them all yesterday on Peacock. I couldn't wait. But they can just expect a very different dynamic between all of us. We all have such different personalities, with my dad as the head and probably the most problematic of all of us.
The most drama-filled,
Yes,
for sure.
you'd be surprised how much drama he has in his life. But yeah, really just see the dynamic between us brothers, all of our girlfriends, and how work and relationships and how we kind of mingle those things, and how sometimes it causes issues and a rift between, our dad and our girlfriends, and how work can do that sometimes. But you really get to see a deep dive into our lives and what it's like to run an actual farming and cattle operation.
That's true. So there are only 2 of you sitting here in front of me now, but there's actually 4 brothers in total. So, are there any special moments or something that you've watched, Jesse, that you're like, oh, just wait till you see that one?
Boy, I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot of those moments in these 10 episodes. Probably if you check out episode 3 or 4, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. My younger brother Cole, he's called the Wild Child for a reason, and you'll see why.
That's great. Now, Steven, where can we go to watch the show, to stream, and really kind of follow your journey?
All 10 episodes actually are already dropped on Peacock, so you can go there and binge watch them all like Jesse did yesterday. It's also airing every Monday night, 11:10 Central on USA Network.
That's great. Well, thank you both for joining, and best of luck to you. Very exciting stuff. I can't wait to watch. I'll probably be streaming it this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
You too.
Now, we've got a lot more on the show. We'll be right back after this. I'm certainly honored that you spent your Friday morning with me here on Wasatch Weekends. What an incredible show it was. We talked all things entertainment with Park City Film, as well as the new series, The McBee Dynasty. Lots happening in Heber Valley as well. So if you were looking for something to do, you certainly have it. Thanks for joining, and I will see you tomorrow.